Vice Chairman Gurman. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, we thank you for this opportunity to get together and to serve our community. We pray that you would guide us in making the right decisions for the people of Finney County and bless us with rain. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Good morning, everyone. I do not have any comments this morning. We'll move commissioners to the consent agenda. Commissioners,
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk, is anybody registered with you for public comment?
No, sir.
Anyone here gathered wish to address the commission? Hearing none, we'll move on then to the business agenda. And this morning, we start with Mackenzie Phillips with regard to a rezoning request.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Mackenzie Phillips, Development Administrative Coordinator. This morning, the Board of County Commissioners is asked to consider a resolution to rezone the property generally located at 6395 South Old Highway 83, Finney County, Kansas, from A Agricultural District to RR Rural Residential District. The applicant, Alessandro Perez, on behalf of the property owner, Alfonso Martinez, of the Garden City Bypass Enterprises LLC, is requesting to rezone 6395 South Old Highway 83 in Finney County, Kansas, from A Agricultural District to RR Rural Residential District. The property is currently vacant and contains plus or minus 11.36 acres. The property is currently undergoing the plat approval process, which is known as the Garcia Second Edition, and is comprised of 5 lots, each ranging from 2 to 3 acres, proposed for single-family residential development. The Finney County Future Land Use Map designates this area as agriculture. However, the zoning regulations for A Agricultural District require a 40-acre minimum lot size, so a residential zoning district is more appropriate. The proposed RR zoning district would allow for single-family homes. The Board of County Commissioners may make its findings according to the criteria in Section 27.040 of the Finney County zoning regulations, and below is a complete list of those criteria. The Planning Commission recommended approval of this rezoning request on October 16th, 2025, and the meeting minutes are attached. So you have 3 alternatives before you this morning. The first, the Board of County Commissioners may adopt the Planning Commission's recommendation by adopting Resolution 31-2025. Second, the Board of County Commissioners may override the Planning Commission's recommendation by a 2/3 majority vote, or the Board of County Commissioners may return the recommendation to the Planning Commission with a statement specifying the basis for the governing body's failure to approve or disapprove. And staff recommends alternative 1 to adopt the Planning Commission's recommendation by approving Resolution 31-2025.
Questions for Mackenzie, Commissioners?
Mackenzie, are there, so they propose each of them would have its own individual well,
Yes.
septic system?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll move we approve alternative 1.
Second.
Seconded to approve alternative, which is to approve the zoning change. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Go ahead.
Okay. Next, the Board of County Commissioners is asked to consider and approve the final plat of the Garcia Second Edition. Garden City Bypass Enterprises is requesting approval of the final plat for the Garcia Second Edition. The site is generally located at 6395 South Old Highway 83, west of 6400 South Old Highway 83, and is currently zoned A Agricultural District. The property is currently vacant and contains approximately 11.36 acres. The Garcia Second Edition is comprised of 5 lots, each ranging between 2 to 3 acres, proposed for single-family residential development. The lots will have a shared driveway accessed through an easement for access to Old Highway 83. And each lot will be serviced individually by on-site water wells and septic systems. The third submittal of the final plat was presented for review on June 19th, 2025, and was found to meet the minimum requirements of the zoning and subdivision regulations. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the plat at its meeting on July 17th, 2025, and the meeting minutes are attached. You have two alternatives before you this morning. The first is the Board of County Commissioners may approve the final plat of the Garcia Second Edition, or two, the Board of County Commissioners may not approve the final plat of the Garcia Second Edition. And staff recommends alternative one, approval of the final plat of the Garcia Second Edition.
Questions?
I'll move we approve alternative one.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve alternative number one, which is to approve the final plat of the Garcia Second Division. Is there any further comment? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, do you have that plat for me to sign?
I do not.
Okay, next on our agenda is to hear from the fire department. New person has to introduce yourself, Cooper.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Lieutenant Cooper Wilson with the Garden City Fire Department. I am currently the acting training chief. Looks like we got 3 months for you, July, August, and September, so we're running a little behind. How would you like me to proceed? Would you just do all three?
Summary.
Okay. All right, we'll start with July. So July was a month marked with community engagement, training, and continued development for the department. Personnel participated in a variety of training opportunities to enhance technical skills, improve readiness, and foster interagency cooperation. Training activities included special rescue, hazardous materials response, and new equipment familiarization, all designed to strengthen the department's ability to respond to our diverse emergencies. The department remained active in the community, participating in public safety events, hosting outreach activities, and celebrating milestones. These efforts help build stronger relationships with residents and partner agencies while reinforcing the department's role as trusted resource for safety and preparedness. Events throughout the month include open house, safety fairs, opportunities for public engagement. Internally, July brought important operational developments. Staff changes were addressed through ongoing recruitment efforts, and training programs continued to evolve to meet the department's needs. Administrative initiatives also progressed to support continued readiness and efficiency. Overall, July reflected a balance of training, community involvement, and operational growth. The department continued to strengthen its commitment to protecting this and serving Garden City and Finney County while preparing for future changes. That also would have been the month that Station 3 opened, so it was a busy month.
All right, any question? Are you done, sir?
I have August and September as well.
Please proceed.
Okay. I'll just skip down to the pertinent parts here. So the department remained actively engaged in August with community, providing standby assistance at public events, participating in outreach programs, and hosting activities designed to connect the residents and promote safety awareness. Collaborative events with other first responder agencies strengthened relationships and reinforced a shared commitment to public service. Internally, August saw progress in staffing and department initiatives. Recruiting efforts advanced with offers extended for open positions and candidates moving through the onboarding process. Administrative work continued, ensuring operational processes and training programs remain current and effective. Overall, August reflected a balance of operational readiness, skill development, and community connection, reinforcing the department's dedication to the service and safety. For September, firefighters spent time preparing for October's Fire Safety Month, developing educational materials and coordinating events to help families learn how to protect themselves and their homes. Planning also continued for the upcoming Public Safety Open House, a joint event with local first responder agencies designed to give the community a behind-the-scenes look at life in the public safety. In addition to the public outreach, the department remained focused on operational readiness and professional growth. Crews participated in ongoing training, reviewed SOGs, and ensured equipment and apparatus were in top condition heading into the fall season. Recruitment efforts also paid off as several new recruits were welcomed to the department and began preparing to start for the next fire academy, which started on October 6th. It's a 5-week academy. We'll immerse them in fundamentals of firefighter safety and teamwork, laying out the foundation for a career of service. From hands-on learning and community engagement, September set the tone for a strong finish to the year, built on dedication, progress, and pride serving the community. All right, that's all 3 months.
All right, great. Any questions, commissioners? I do have a question for you with regard to Fire Station number 3. How's that working with having EMS with you?
It's working pretty well as we continue to run more calls with them, and I mean most of us are pretty familiar with them anyways. We get along pretty well. I haven't heard of any hiccups or anything like that. I know that the fire safety month that ended up just being the joint safety month for everybody went off really well. When I went there was tons of people there, so way more than I expected for as bad as the day was, because it was kind of dreary and cold out that day. So.
All right, thank you. Commissioners, other questions? Yes, sir.
Cooper, with fall rolling around and it's drying up, with the amount of fire load we have out there, have you guys done any training on fighting grass fires or those type of rural fires?
Yeah, we try to stay pretty up to date on it, and I've been working with our new DFMO, which is like the Kansas Forestry Service, the supervisor for this area of the state. We have a new one, so I've been talking with him, and he's been reaching out and trying to get some of especially our our forestry team, kind of more up to date with our training. We are scheduled tentatively sometime in the next couple months to have an S-130, S-190 class, which would give our staff the opportunity to become red card certified, which would be wildland firefighting. So we're gonna try to put ourselves through one of those classes here very shortly. I know it's been, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years since we've done one. So.
Because it is really drying up.
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Scott, did you intend to address the commission today for public comment? All right, thank you. See, I gotta take care of my constituents. Appreciate it. All right, next up on the agenda is to hear from the Garden City Endowment Association. Stephanie?
Morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Stephanie Siebert, Finney County Fairgrounds Coordinator. Today, the governing body is asked to consider the request from the Garden City Community College Endowment Auction Committee to waive the facility fees for the 2026 endowment auction to be held at the Finney County Fairgrounds Exhibition Building. The GCCC endowment auction has been held annually at the fairgrounds since 1996, with the exception of 2020 and 2021 when the event was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Between 21 and 23, the fairgrounds conducted a comprehensive cost analysis to evaluate the existing fee schedule and determine necessary adjustments to ensure long-term operational sustainability. In January 2024, a comparison of regional facilities of similar size was completed, revealing the fairgrounds rates were below market and insufficient to meet maintenance and operational cost. Based on this analysis, a revised fee schedule and accompanying policies were developed and presented to the Board of County Commissioners. The revised fee schedule and policies were approved by the board in June of 2024. On July 1st, 2024, letters were sent to all annual fairgrounds users, including the Endowment Auction Committee, informing them of the approved changes, the January 1, 2025 effective date, and the period allowed to confirm or adjust reservations. Annual users were given 2 months plus an additional 30-day buffer to finalize their arrangements in accordance with the new schedule. GCCC hosts several events at the fairgrounds each year. Historically, the county has waived or reduced fees for some of these events and allowed the college to utilize its own campus security in place of the contracted providers list on the fairgrounds approved security list. This exception is unique to GCCC and represents an additional cost reduction already afforded to the college. While staff recognizes the significant community value of the endowment auction and its support of local scholarships, continued fee waivers diminish the county's cost recovery efforts and reduce the ability to address ongoing facility maintenance needs at the fairgrounds. The revised fee structure approved by the board was developed in part to begin rebuilding fairgrounds revenue reserves to support long-deferred facility repairs, equipment replacements, and building maintenance. To provide transparency regarding past and ongoing fee considerations, attached in your packet is a spreadsheet showing the total annual fees waived in orange and paid in blue by GCCC, along with a breakout of all entities receiving fee waivers in recent years. The information illustrates both the cumulative fiscal impact of fees waived and the degree of financial support the county continues to extend to local organizations, including the college. The fairgrounds fee policy and staff recommendations align with the county's adopted county government's model goals of stewardship and financial sustainability, ensuring responsible management of public resources, equitable treatment among users, and improved funding capacity for long-term facility upkeep. The alternatives before you are as follows. 1, the governing body may approve the waiver of fairgrounds fees totaling approximately $2,800 for the 2026 GCCC endowment auction. 2, the governing body may deny the request to waive fairgrounds facility fees and require payment consistent with the adopted 2024 fairgrounds fees schedule effective January 1, 2025. Or 3, the governing body may approve a partial reduction of the total facility fee for the 2026 GCCC endowment auction as a one-time accommodation contingent upon and agreed upon sponsorship or in-kind contribution by GCCC. Staff recommends alternative 2, that the governing body denied the GCCC Endowment Auction Committee request for a waiver of fairgrounds facility fees. This action is consistent with the fairgrounds fee policy approved by the board in June 2024 and supports the county's adopted governance model goals of stewardship and financial sustainability. If the request is denied, the county will retain approximately $2,800 in fairgrounds fund revenue to the associated GL account, exhibition building revenue to support operations and facility maintenance. If the request is approved, the county will forego that revenue.
Questions, commissioners, for staff?
Stephanie, my math may be off, but I thought it was like 3,200. Is it 3,200 or is it 2,800?
2,800.
Okay. And second thing is where we forego the fees to the college for the rodeos and the others, those are college events itself, correct?
Correct.
And this is the endowment is not part of the college, but it's a association fee, is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
And do we waive any other association fees or events down at the?
Only if they are outside agencies for the county.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Yes, this, it said on here that there, it was attached, the information on the fees that have been waived, and I didn't see it.
So those were marked private, so they didn't show up in the agenda, but I did send them out separately. We can bring them up if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to see them?
I was like, I thought I saw those somewhere, but.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until Saturday that they had been omitted, so I went ahead and sent them.
Okay.
But I think Tyler's got them and she'll bring them up.
So those are the past 3 years of entities that the county has waived fees for. And in green is the total amount each year that the county has done in-kind sponsorships.
Anything else you need, Vice Chairman?
It's my opinion that this isn't a lot for the community college to ask. I think in the interest of getting along with the other entities, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, we're going to hear from the college also. Thank you. Any other questions for staff? All right. Thank you, Stephanie. Scott, would you address the commission, please, on behalf of the Endowment Association? Please introduce yourself for the viewing public.
Thank you. Scott Kudrowski, the Dean of Advancement and Alumni Relations at Garden City Community College. And actually, I'm going to ask Beth Coxel to come up. She's our secretary of the Endowment Association, and she's also one of the chairs of the endowment auction. And so I would just thank you for the opportunity, and just thank you again for the partnership. You guys are wonderful partners, and we love being partners with you. And this ask is just one of those partnerships. So, Beth, and I can answer any questions you have afterwards.
Good morning, Beth.
Good
Please
morning.
introduce yourself for the viewing public.
I am Beth Coxel. I am currently the volunteer secretary of the Garden City Community College Endowment Association, and I respectfully request your consideration for a reduction in the rental fee for the Finney County Exhibition Building for our annual endowment auction scheduled for Friday, April 10th of 2026. As one of the co-chairs of this event, we're beginning our planning early to ensure that every possible dollar raised directly supports student scholarships at Garden City Community College. The Endowment Association is a 501c3 nonprofit organization established to aid, foster, and promote the development and welfare of Garden City Community College and the education and the welfare of its students, faculty, and alumni. The association is independent and operates without any dedicated staff. Our administrative support is shared with the Garden City Community College Alumni Association and funded by the college to ensure that all donor contributions are directed towards student success and scholarship awards rather than overhead. In fiscal year 25, a total of $160,000 was awarded to students. For fiscal year 26, we're projecting $240,000 in scholarships, a 50% increase in direct student aid. These funds provide critical opportunities for educational advancement, particularly for local students who may not otherwise have financial means to pursue higher education. The annual auction is our largest fundraising event of the year and plays a vital role in sustaining and expanding these scholarships. Support from community partners such as Finney County ensures that more of each donated dollar goes directly to students rather than to event overhead. We deeply value the county's ongoing commitment to education, workforce development, and local opportunity. To that end, we respectfully present two options for your favorable consideration. The first being waiving of the rental fees of the exhibition building or a trade agreement in which the county would receive recognition as the building sponsor. And I believe Scott has the sponsorship packet with him. Either option would make a meaningful contribution to our shared goal of expanding educational access and opportunity for Finney County residents. Thank you for your continued support of Garden City Community College and the students who call Finney County home. I'd be happy to visit with you later or address any other questions that I can answer at this time too.
Commissioners?
I'm just looking at what we've written off in the past. If I'm reading this right, whoops, you changed on me. There we go. And in 24, looks like we forewent 17,600. Is that correct?
I'd have to look at the detailed breakdown of it to see. It looked like a lot of that was specific to the rodeo, which is different.
Well,
Yeah.
it's still Garden City Community.
Yeah, we're still trying to get away from that perceived thinking in that a majority of our funds go directly to support students that attend it.
Well, and then in this year so far, 14,000. So you know, I asked the Endowment Association just to pay a little to cover some of
The costs, yes.
costs, I don't think would be out of line.
Oh, no. And I looked back to 2011, which is where I believe I had information pertaining to fees that we paid. I think in 2011, we paid $1,500.
Well, I guess we'd
That's a reduction, and I'd be happy with that, Larry.
have to negotiate.
Commissioners, anything else? I think that, Beth, what the important work that the Endowment Association does warrants our careful consideration of your request, and the Vice Chairman and I will be looking for a third vote to approve your request on the waiver of the fee. But I think that everyone in the room should know that you're not an associated entity that the county supports as a, quote, outside agency. I think everybody in the room should know, however, that we have dedicated public funds, because public funds means it all comes from all of us, of $100,000 each year, which is $200,000 towards your building and so forth, that we were able to get additional grant funding for the college. And this additional ask is understandable, and it's something that I would like to see happen. However, I'm just one vote. And with that, does anybody else have any other questions or comments?
I have a question. Have there been instances where the county has used facilities from the college at no charge?
I'm going to have to
That's what I thought.
let Scott answer that question.
So I didn't go back and pull for specifics, so this is coming just from my memory. I would say the college always stands ready to waive any type of fees that we would have, whether you need the endowment room. I believe when we before the Adult Education Center was remodeled, we did COVID-19 testing out of that old in front of the the old skating rink. We did COVID testing for you there at no charge to partner, and I think that is President Ruta's model, is that we will always partner and always waive those fees for you. And I just wanted to add one more thing, and it's not been brought up, but Derek, I sent Derek a proposal for building sponsorship proposal that would give you tickets to the event. It would give you advertising as the building sponsor. It would also give you signage. It would give you everything that would go along for Finney County to really show that partnership. It would give you pre-auction, post-auction thanks to be recognized as well as a partner. And that's a little over a $4,000 package that we would charge a regular business, $4,000. So it's not like we're just asking for you to waive these fees. We really do want to partner and really do want to show our partnership in the best light, because we do have a good partnership. There's nothing other than the will for both sides to see each other survive, to each other to really do well. And I just really do appreciate the thoughtfulness. As a taxpayer, I thank you for that thoughtfulness. And I just want to make sure that you know that we are willing, as an endowment association, to be good partners. And I can't speak for the college, but I will. I know President Ruta's heart is to be good partners as well, and continue to see folks in Finney County really do well and get that education. And then all the dollars do. That's another thing too, is every dollar we raise goes right back to scholarships. We're not paying anybody's salary for it, so it's all going to kiddos, all going to students right here in Finney County.
Vicki, if you remember, we had the meet and greet for our county administrator there, as well as other events.
There was any charge for that?
No, and we did
I
not.
know that we have done county leadership training in their building with no fee. And in that spirit, I would like to make a motion that we approve alternative one where all fees are waived.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to approve alternative number one, and we will now have discussion on that motion.
Could we add the caveat of the trade agreement? I think that the trade agreement is a brilliant idea, and I think that it has been perceived in the past that the county hasn't been good community partners. And I think getting the word out there that, yes, we are, would be good. So if you would want to amend your motion to that effect, or?
Well, I also, before we vote, give every commissioner a chance to address this issue, but I also want to hear from the administrator. You're the new guy on the block, sir, but our job is to listen to what the administrator thinks. Do you have a recommendation?
So looking at previous practice, the fee was not waived, but this consideration wasn't asked by the endowment auction to waive this fee. So they've historically paid it, I think, for the last 30 years. And looking at our facilities in the state that they're in, we want to build up those funds to start replacing and repairing a lot of the issues that are happening in that building. However, we do not have a problem, staff does not have a problem with waiving this fee, with this in-kind sponsorship contribution to kind of help promote our brand and get it out to the numerous people that attend the endowment auction. So.
My concern is that the tickets that they're wanting to throw in as far as the in-kind, I don't think should go to the commissioners. If we're gonna do tickets, that should be for county employees and not the commissioners. The taxpayer doesn't need to think that the commissioners are waiving this fee so that they get free tickets. That's the part that I didn't like about the in-kind opportunity, but I'm just one vote here.
I concur with your thinking about that. I was thinking the same thing. I don't want it construed that I made a motion with the intent to get, some tickets to go to the event. I just wanted to make a motion to waive the fee for the event because it was a worthwhile event, so.
And at the same time, Commissioner, I think that the staff, under the direction of the administrator, if can get a benefit from that as an enhancement to the employees' opportunity to be engaged and seen in the community. We need our new administrator to be involved, and there's usually 1,500 people at this event. Yeah. It's the largest social event in Garden City, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. I appreciate your insight on that. We do have a motion to approve alternative number 1, and I will be voting against the motion, not because I want to vote against the fee reduction, but I think we ought to take the opportunity to do the incentive. And so I wanted to let you two gentlemen know where I was at on that. Is there any further discussion? All right, there's a motion on the floor. Call the question. Alternative number 1, to approve the waiver completely in the amount of $2,800 for the 2026 auction. All in favor, say aye.
We'll redo it. I would like to amend my, since
We're gonna take a vote.
Okay.
All those in favor of the motion, say aye. All against, nay? Nay. Motion fails. Is there a new motion?
I would like to make a motion that we approve alternative 1 to waive the fee, but add the incentive for county staff or our county administrator work with county staff to be able to attend this event.
And the advertising.
And I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve a modification of alternative number 3, where we waive the fee for the 2026 endowment auction as a one-time accommodation contingent upon agreed upon sponsorship or in-kind contribution by GCCC, which does not include these commissioners receiving tickets. Does that state your motion correctly?
Yes.
And the second?
Yes.
Now, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your guys' time and partnership.
Next on our agenda is to hear from the Emergency Management Director. Morning, Paul. Please announce yourself for the viewing public.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners. I'm Paul Resley, Director of Emergency Management. This morning, the governing bodies asked to consider to approve ending the county's contract with the Lawrence or emergency notification, and authorize a new 36-month agreement with Everbridge Public Safety for our communicating alert system. Finney County Emergency Management has a contractual agreement with AlertSense for more than 5 years to provide public warning services for the county. Their current contract administered through Nexus expires December the 31st, 2025, and requires a 30-day written notice before the expiration date to avoid the automatic renewal and continued payment. Everbridge Public Safety Communications was evaluated as a replacement due to its compatibility with the Integrated Public Alert Warning System, or IPAWS, which is administered through FEMA, and a greater ease of use compared to the AlertSense now. Broader use by other public safety agencies, including the Garden City PD and Southwest Region Emergency Management Offices. Everbridge provides the ability to target specific geographic areas for alerts, offers dedicated user support, and maintains direct coordination with the National Weather Service. The annual cost of the current AlertSense agreement is $9,995 annually. The proposed 36-month contract with Everbridge Public Safety would be $10,370.46. Annually, based on the county population of 38,001 is how they figure their price on this, plus a one-time setup fee of $829.64. The annual cost difference, excluding the setup, is $375.46 annually. The transition supports the county's adopted governance models of public safety and innovation, ensuring consistent, reliable communication tools and emergency response. The alternatives, the governing body may approve ending the contract with AlertSense and authorize the execution of a 36-month agreement with Everbridge at an annual cost of $10,370 and plus 46 cents, and a one-time setup fee of $829.24. The governing body may deny the approval of the new contract and direct staff to renew the existing contract with AlertSense or identify other alternatives. Staff recommends alternative one, that the governing body approves ending the contract with AlertSense and authorize the execution of a 36-month agreement with Everbridge. You have any questions?
Commissioners?
Paul, if we approve this, ending the alert and then going into the new company, there will be a transition, so individuals like myself who is signed up with alerts and get notified. How's that going to transition?
That we'll be able to move the database over to Everbridge as it is set up now. It'll just show up. The advantage to Everbridge is we're able to break it down into area-based. So if we have a problem in the central part of the city, we can map that out and just send it out to the folks residing there. So we'll probably break that up into centralized locations, so.
Well, I'm personally glad to see, as a retired chief, we looked at something like this years back, able to geographically target locations when it's a certain location versus the entire city getting notified is a fantastic tool.
And that's one of the advantages, and the other advantage is it's multilingual versus the bilingual. There's multiple languages we can send this out to, being with the diverse population we have now. We're not able to reach everybody. So it'll translate it to text or email or however they sign up for. So that'll be a great advantage to it as well, so.
Commissioner Beskey, what is your comments on this? I'm in law enforcement area.
I agree with what Mike just said. I'm ready to make a motion.
Okay, well, I don't understand the difference between the two providers, and one's more expensive than the other, and Paul, do you think it's worth the change?
Yes, I do. Right now, there's 20 entities using it. Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri, most of the major metropolitan areas in the eastern part where they are migrating further out west. And talking to my counterparts that do use this, it's a lot more user-friendly, so it's a little easier to populate. We get direct contact with national weather, even though we do get direct contact now, but it updates the system as it goes along for geographic areas, so that's a big advantage there too. And for the $300 annually, presently we have $12,000 in our budget for the Alert Sense. So financially, we have the money in our budget to upgrade to this. I just find the advantage of multilingual and direct targeting is a little bit better than what we are presently using.
Thank you. Anything else, commissioners?
Paul, how does this join in your fellow counties around us that you have to notify, or if you have a...
It would still work the same way, and when we do have an issue, it's usually a phone call from one of us, and rather than send it out via this, because it's a little easier with our mutual aid agreements with these other counties. None of the other counties typically notify us through their alert reporting systems either, and it's direct phone call.
I guess I just defer to Commissioner who's expertise of this area, because I have no idea. I didn't even know we had this.
Well, and what's really important is, and I'm sure, Paul, that you'll get with our PIO and get this communicated out, but this is something that every member of the community should sign up for. That way, if there's a tornado, severe weather, fire alert, bomb threat, active shooter, it can be pushed out with this new system geographically or county-wide.
Exactly.
And
so they notify you then what, through your cell?
Cell phone.
Cell phone, computers, landline telephones. It does all the...
Have those?
Well,
Refund?
believe it
Yes.
or not, some of them do, so.
So there's great, this is a great asset for our community, and I appreciate, Paul, that you and your staff have looked into this, because this is something that we really need.
Well, it's been something that, when I first started, they were looking at changing, and just, it was cost prohibitive at that time, and as I've drilled down through it and talked with my counterparts, this seemed like the best system for what it offers. So I think it's the characters that we can put in the text or the emails versus what we can do now is, we were limited before. We're not totally unlimited, but it increases the capability quite a bit.
I suggest that you put this on our communication page. And
We have developed a code. If this is approved, we will get it back out. We've been working with PIOs through the city as well with this, so trying to get everybody on board, because it's free to sign up for. All you have to do is just sign up.
All right. Direct question to the administrator. Do we have the budget authority to do this and available cash so that when our auditors review our meeting today, they are so happy that we've conformed with the budget and cash basis law?
Yes, we do.
Nice, concise answer. Thank you. I hope the auditors are now very happy with all of us. Paul, we didn't disbelieve you that we had that, but it's just one of those things the auditors remind us commissioners every year to make sure that we don't spend money in the middle of the year that's not budgeted or have the cash basis to pay.
Understand.
Is there any further questions, or is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I make the motion that we approve ending the contract with Alert Sense and authorize execution of a new 36-month agreement with Everbridge Public Safety Communications at an annual cost of $10,370.46 plus a one-time implementation fee of $829.64.
Is there a second?
And with great enthusiasm and respect, I second the motion.
Thank you. Been moved and seconded to approve the well-stated motion as alternative number one. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, sirs and ma'am.
Next, we'll hear from the clerk. Please announce. Also, just before you get started, early voting ends today at noon, right?
Yes, it does.
And then general election polls are open from 7 to 7 tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Now, can we go back to the task at hand?
Good morning, Commissioners. Dory Munyon, Finney County Clerk and Election Officer. Today, you're asked to consider approval of 2 cereal malt beverage licenses, one for Rancho Los Aldana and one for TA Travel Center. Both entities have met the necessary licensing requirements. Applications and related materials are available for your review. There's a binder there next to Mike. Cereal malt beverage licenses are beer containing not more than 6% alcohol by volume, cannot be sold without a valid CMB license that has been issued by the city or county where the licensed premise is located. The Board of County Commissioners must approve the issuance of licenses for establishments located outside the city limits of an incorporated city. Finney County typically issues fewer than 10 licenses per year. CMB applicants must first submit their application to the Alcohol Beverage Control, or ABC, with a $25 stamp fee. And then the state reviews the application, authorizes the stamps, and then the application is returned to the applicant. The applicant then brings the application to our office for where we do a background check, and then those are provided to you for final approval. So your alternatives today are that the board may approve the issuance of the 2026 cereal malt beverage licenses for Rancho Los Aldana and TA Travel Center and authorize the chair to sign the license certificates, or the board may decline to approve the issuance of these licenses for Rancho Los Aldana and or TA Travel Center and direct staff regarding communication to the applicants. The county clerk's office has reviewed and verified that the licensing requirements have been met. Therefore, staff recommends alternative 1, approve the issuance and authorize the chair to sign the 2026 cereal malt beverage license certificates for Rancho Los Aldana and TA Travel Center. And as for the fiscal impact, the county does collect a $50 license fee for each license issued. And those fees have been paid for these 2 establishments.
We don't have anything from the sheriff to suggest that there's a problem at either of these establishments. I'm inclined to follow your recommendation based on your inquiry of each licensee. Other questions, commissioners?
Where is Rancho Aldana?
It's on their application there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe it's maybe on Maple.
It's formerly or known as the horse races out on West Maple Street.
Possibly. I'm not familiar. I can't remember what their application says, but I do think it's out on Maple Street.
Have we approved this licensing in the past for that location?
Yes, multiple times. And we do a background check each year.
The address is 2720 West Maple Street, Garden City.
Thank you.
Other questions, commissioners? Ready for a vote? Do you want to vote on each license, or do you want to vote on them together? The recommendation is to vote on both of them together.
Yes, sir.
I move we approve both licenses.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve both licenses as alternative number 1 as recommended. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
4-1, motion carries.
Thank you.
Finally, on our business agenda this morning, we have an authorization for a non-budgeted position. Mr. Ramos?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. The governing body is asked to consider and approve the authorization of a non-budget position for a Director of Communications and Public Information Officer. The Finney County Staff Analysis and Organizational Review conducted by Raf Tillis identified countywide communication, coordination, and recruitment challenges as key barriers to achieving long-term organizational effectiveness and service excellence. The report concluded that communication and coordination can be enhanced throughout the organization, emphasizing the need for a dedicated strategy to improve both internal communication among departments and external engagement with the public. At present, communication responsibilities are decentralized and largely handled as a secondary duty within the clerk's office. This limited capacity has made it difficult to maintain consistent messaging ensure timely information flow, and promote transparency with employees, community partners, and residents. The Ralph Tellis report also noted significant workforce challenges, including 48 full-time and 8 part-time vacancies, and recommended that Finney County think creatively about how to solve capacity issues, including modernizing recruitment efforts and improving engagement to attract and retain qualified professionals. A director of communications and PIO would address these findings by developing a unified countywide communication strategy, enhancing recruitment and retention through strategic branding, strengthening internal communication and engagement, coordinating emergency and public safety communication, supporting regional collaboration and transparency by aligning communication with partner agencies. And this position directly supports the Finney County governance model, advancing multiple strategic goals adopted by the Board of County Commissioners, including empowering and supporting county employees, enhance community engagement and transparency, recruit, retain, and promote talent, and finally, to plan and invest in Finney County's future by positioning communication as a key driver in educating residents on county projects, investments, and strategic initiatives. This role will serve as a central point of coordination for all county communications and will work closely with department heads, elected officials, and county administrator's office. Establishing this position fulfills key recommendations from the organizational review and operationalizes the county commission's vision to create a dynamic, inclusive, and vibrant community where residents thrive, businesses succeed, and innovation drives opportunity and a high quality of life for all. So there are 3 alternatives for the governing body to choose from. 1, the governing body may approve the authorization of a non-budgeted director of communications and public information officer. 2, the governing body may defer the authorization of the director of communications and PIO position until the next fiscal year. And 3, the governing body may choose not to authorize the creation of director of communications and PIO position and continue with its current decentralized approach to communication and public information. It is staff's recommendation that the governing body approve alternative 1, authorizing the creation of a non-budgeted director of communications and public information officer. And the fiscal impact on this is the estimated annual cost for the director of communications and public information officer position, including salary and benefits, is projected between $85,000 and $105,000, depending on experience. Funding is available in GL 001015039, which is County General and General Administration salary, which currently has an available balance of $150,000 in it. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners?
Well, the one that we had before she left was out of your budget, right, Dory?
That is correct.
Okay, sorry, I'm
Yes, sir. Yeah.
at the same time. So we already approved it, so
It's funded, though, through a different source for the public information officer to be an employee within the county clerk's office.
entity of its own.
I would clarify that this is a separate position from that.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can give you guys a little bit of background about this GL code. So this line item was established in 2021 by the new county administrator. The stated purpose beginning with the 2022 budget was to set aside funds for new positions that might need to be created during the fiscal year. So this typically occurred when new services or programs introduced after the annual budget process had concluded. And if I went back to 2022 all the way to this year, and those funds had never been used. So this will be the first year that these funds will be used, and it's budgeted for every year. So
You have any prospects in mind?
I do not. I'm hoping we get a really good pool of applicants.
Okay. So, okay.
Ready for a motion?
One more, Commissioner Oates.
Just clarification. So this is to create a director's position, and then the position we already have created, put underneath that director.
That is correct.
And then the director will report directly to you then?
Correct.
So we're moving the position under administration and out of the clerk's budget.
My understanding,
Not changing the clerk's budget.
no, we're not changing the clerk's budget. My understanding is he's asking that we create a director position and move the position out of the clerk's office under the director.
Correct. This person will work directly for the administrator and not the clerk.
Yes. I would like to make a motion that we approve alternative 1, that we approve the authorization of a non-budgeted Director of Communications and Public Information Officer position within the County Administrator's Office.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve alternative number 1 as stated in the well-worded motion. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
That's the end of our business agenda. We have staff reports. We'll first hear from Kenny Smith. EMS. Please announce for the viewing public.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kenny Smith, Director of Finney County EMS. This is just a third quarter update, again, just to keep transparency throughout our system to you. In the third quarter, we had numerous standbys ranging from middle school, high school football games, Garden City Community College football games, rodeos, and races. We have had several show and tells, either at the stations or out in public, and right now Station 3 is a plethora of walkthroughs and stuff like that for the kids. We currently sit at 1 open position and the 2 closed positions, so nearly fully staffed. EM1 Reesley was so gracious to teach us defensive driving at our last quarterly meeting that we had. So thank you to the Emergency Manager's Office. Supervisor James Good was named Employee of the Quarter for the third quarter, and then not mentioned at my last briefing that Supervisor James Falke was named Employee of the Quarter for the second quarter. We're in process of getting a plaque to hang at the station for this recognition, and that is in the process right now. Station 1, inside framing is really taking shape. You can make out a lot more, probably at least 90 to 95% of the rooms of what's going to be there throughout the whole building. They've started to brick and mortar the outside if you've driven by it. I drove by it coming over here, and about halfway up on the east side wall on the outside is brick and mortared. So it is coming along, and at the last meeting, they had moved up the completion date a couple of weeks to the middle of September. So as we go into the calls, back one, please, on the page. As we go through the calls, this is just kind of the broad spectrum as far as Station 1 response and Station 3 response. Holcomb, how many nursing home calls collectively that we've had, air medical, and then just the outliers that we've had. So definitely Station 1 and Station 3 are very, very close, with Station 1 being the majority of them. And then the next one is more of a breakout as far as specifically if it's county versus city, whether it's Station 1, Station 3, Holcomb. There's Tyson calls, and then it also branches out the different nursing homes that we do go to as well. So, and then just the other outliers as far as if we go to the LEC for a blood draw or the hospital for a return transfer home. Any questions on calls or call volume? No? We'll move on to the next one. So QMC, and the next one, sorry, that was just kind of a title page. QMC, our Quick Med Claims, is our third-party biller again. So this is just kind of telling you on their recap that I had on October 22nd with them. So the trip count you can see for the past good year. This is not what we've done. This is just our billables. So the trip count is just the billables, because we only charge when we transport to the hospital as far as a 911 call. And so you can see that July was a big slope in calls or billable calls, and then it just escalated from there as far as what they have billed out. The next one just shows the last 3 years, the comparison on the same thing as far as the billable trip counts, and then just how similar they are as far as the months and the years and stuff like that. The payer trending, again, this just shows that Medicare is the top payer at 49%, commercial being 19%, which is the next one, commercial being like your Blue Cross Blue Shield providers. Self-pay at 14%, and then Medicaid at 13%, and then on down from there. But it just shows that Medicare definitely being the top payer for billable trips. The next one shows the priority as far as like what kind of call they were. And the top two is going to be ALS and BLS. And then they just kind of go back and forth as far as whatever the call receives.
Help us out on the acronym.
Okay. BLS is basic life support. ALS is advanced life support. So it really kind of determines whether a paramedic is needed on an advanced life support or like an EMT is needed on a BLS.
ALS 2.
So I had to ask about this one. There's not a lot of ALS 2, but an ALS 2, from what they told me, would be like a cardiac arrest event to where the majority of the whole call is advanced life support. And that's kind of the rationale that I got from them. I had that same question, so. And then you can see the standbys on the left-hand side are up in that last half of 24, and it's going to be the same for this because the standbys are a lot of the football games. So the 3-year deposits, it's showing you, again, the last 2 years of what was deposited, and then 2025, we're sitting at $637,900,000. And then we're on tap for making the same as far as around or above 800,000 for the billables. And then the next,
Hold on.
Yep.
On your payables, since the federal government shut down for 30 days, that make a difference on your Medicare?
I haven't heard anything as far as from QuickMed claims. I can check. That is a good question. I can ask them. I haven't heard anything though, I personally, as far as from them, as far as being anything slowed up or anything like that, so. All right, the next one just shows by month how much deposited from billables that is brought in. So, and again, that just matters. On the previous slides, it shows the trip count, how many billable calls that we went to does coincide with a lot of what is on here as well. So, and I believe that is the last one. If you guys have any questions or any more.
Questions for Kenny?
I have a comment. Congratulations on being almost fully staffed.
Yes, almost there.
That attests to your leadership. And
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next, do a development update.
Good morning again, Chairman and Commissioners. Mackenzie Phillips, Development Administrative Coordinator. I just have a few updates for you this morning. So for Spirit Acres, we are still waiting on resubmittals from the developer on the final plat. There was a few things they still had to address before we can bring it before you. Then Amazon, we did do a final inspection of the right-of-way with our public works inspectors last week. And either the CO has been issued already or it's getting ready to be issued here in the next week or so. So we'll have updated aerials for you as well.
Very good. Anything else for Mackenzie, Commissioners? Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll now hear from the County Treasurer. Please introduce yourself for the viewing public.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. I'm Trista Joyce, County Treasurer. So KSA 12-1677 subsection B requires the treasurer of each county to submit a written report of idle funds and investments to the governing body each quarter. So in front of you, you have such report. So I'll walk you through the different sections. The first section at the top are the demand deposit accounts. So those are funds that are available for immediate withdrawal, but we do earn interest on those funds. The middle section is current investments. So those are CDs. Those are funds that we can't touch quite as easily. We still have access to them, of course, but they do have a time commitment on them. And then the bottom section is a summary of interest earned by financial institution. So I will draw your attention to the middle section of the current investments. So the really one to note is that we do currently have a large investment with Commerce Bank that is earmarked. The funds are earmarked for the new EMS health department. So you'll start seeing those be drawn down, and we won't see that investment as much next year. And also the other thing to note, as we do draw down that cash balance, our interest income will decrease over time. But that's why we have these investments laddered out, so that we can depend on interest income on a consistent basis over the coming years. Are there any questions?
Yes, there's several. I'll go ahead and fire away.
Sure.
I just want to, maybe not a question, but also to thank you for your effort, especially over the last 3 years of going from nominal to no income on investments to more than $3 million last year. Again, this year we're close to that number, but that also means that we have a cash retention amount that's significant. Taxpayers should be aware that interest income not only is going to be less because of reductions in rate, the Fed just announced the second quarter point cut for 2026, which will be a half point basis cut. Generally, our deposits follow those rate cuts.
Yes.
Two is that we spent down over $5 million out of the general fund in promoting and building up the EMS building fund.
Correct.
Which you've already addressed will be significantly less by the time we pay for that building this year.
Yes.
So as we look forward to 2027 budgeting, we'll have to be mindful that we're not going to have the same interest income in the following year.
Yes.
Those are my comments. Anything else that you would like to add on spending down that EMS building money?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you. Commissioners?
What are the rates that are being offered on your CDs currently? Have you
It really depends. Really, if you look towards the end, like the one that is maturing, the ones that are maturing in July of 2026, those are the current rates, and those were done in the third quarter. Now, if I went out to bid today, they would be lower, just because of the Fed announcing that interest rate cut.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was in. 422 is not that big a difference than what they were on.
Yeah, and really, we didn't see a large reduction after that first rate cut. I do anticipate we'll see more after the second one was announced.
Well, I'm not the treasurer, but when we have a $26 million operating checking account, that is paying us 2.2. The difference between a long-term investment and a short one is that we're just making a loan to that financial institution.
Yeah, and keep in mind, a lot of our demand deposit accounts do compound a lot more frequently than those CDs. So, for instance, that large operating account does compound daily.
That is helpful.
Yes.
Thank you. Other questions, commissioners? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Administrator?
Good morning again. I'd like to give an update and happy to announce, go ahead.
Commissioner Jones wants you to know that we'll get you a taller.
We're going to get you taller.
Yeah, I know. Got to keep moving it. Yeah, sorry. But I'm happy to announce that we have advertised for key positions in our organization. So you'll see on the website in our employment options that Director of IT, Director of Public Health, and Director of Public Works are currently being advertised. And we're working on the job description with McGrath Consulting on the Director of Finance as well. So some of those key positions that we've been looking for to fill, we're in the beginning stages and excited to see the applicant pool that we're going to receive. And with the Director of Communications coming on board, hopefully in the near future, we can really start pushing those out into a larger audience.
Do you intend to call your Director of Finance the Assistant Administrator, or are you going to give that label to that position, or no?
No, we're going to assess that at a later date and see with the applicant pool. So I also like to give an update about some of the correspondence we've been having with the community. We're looking at a lot of the county roads. We love the moisture. We need it desperately in this community. However, it makes maintaining the roads, special gravel roads, very, very difficult. So we are looking at, I believe, at the end of September, beginning of October, we were out at Mary in the Farmlands Road. We did grade that, but we need to go back out there and reassess that road. We're also at Zeem Grade Road as well last week, and then we're going to grade it again and then lay gravel on Wednesday. Some really roads in disrepair. It's pretty bad shape. I really want to thank Public Works. They've been very reactive in going out there. So I want to thank Larry, McKinsey, and their staff and all the great people there for the work that they're doing. We're in the beginning stages of working on a plan to do a road assessment that will help us be less reactive and more proactive so we can prioritize county roads and get them covered. I think we have around 1,200 road miles that we cover in the entire county. So if you guys hear from the community members, we encourage them to reach out to myself or to Public Works, and we'll do our best to get back to them quickly and then make sure that their needs are met.
There's nobody sitting on this side of the counter that doesn't know that roads are the number one concern, and your attention to that detail is greatly appreciated.
Roads and taxes.
Yeah.
I would correct the chairman a little bit.
Thank you, Senior.
Okay, yep, that's all I have. Thank you.
Wait, hold on, are there any questions for the administrator? No, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Madam Clerk, under Board Governance, do you have anything else?
No, nothing specific.
This morning, we're adjourning from here into a regular work session. Is that correct?
Yeah, we will have a work session following the adjournment of the regular session.
Okay, and so is there a need for an executive session?
Yes.
All right, we'll do commissioner reports after the executive session. What's the purpose of the executive session, Madam Counselor?
For discussion of attorney-client matters under KSA 754319B2.
And the length of time and the persons to attend.
We'll want the commission, myself, and the administrator in this executive session. Probably make it, do we need a break before we go?
We will.
into Executive session. Let's do, about 25 minutes is what we'll need for the executive session, so.
All right, I'll recommend 30, but that'll be subject to the motion. And we won't commence the executive session until 10 minutes after we adjourn here or go into executive session. We'll take a 10-minute break. Is there a motion to go into executive session 10 minutes hence?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to go into executive sessions for the stated reasons as set by the counselor with the persons in attendance incorporated into the motion. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We're in executive session commencing 10 minutes from now for a period of 30 minutes. Streets.
Second.
Moved and seconded, go into regular session. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're back in regular session. I will confirm that no action was taken during the executive session. And on our agenda, the last thing to go through is our commissioners' reports. And Senior, since you were absent last time, and we'll go right to left. Sir.
Just got right back in the mix of things. I had a Economic Lifelines board meeting. They were bringing us up to date on, new proposals for Ike and their upcoming consults they do regionally. Also, a problem we don't really have out here are bridges like they do in eastern Kansas, and they have lots of troubles back there. And we're gonna have a legislative update before the session starts. I think they're planning on trying to do it sometime in December. And then had a Workforce One meeting. I attended on Zoom. Not enough quorum, so canceled and moved to a different date, and I couldn't make that date. So,
All right.
that's where I've started.
Vice Chairman.
Next. We did have the homeless encampment meeting, and we do have a name now. I can't remember if I spoke to that last time or not, but we decided that we would be a task force under Live Well, and we're going to call ourselves Unmet Needs Community-Led Empowerment, or UNCLE. And it will be utilized on an as-needed basis and organized through Live Well, which was exciting. It was really good to do that. We've seen some successes, and we'll continue to work toward that and connecting all of the entities that are out there, especially as we're facing shortfalls with government shutdowns, and who knows what things may be cut in the future. We are still planning the riverbed cleanup on the 15th. We will meet down there around the fish pond that isn't really so much of a pond anymore at 9 a.m. The lunch group that was going to be cooking for us, it didn't work out since we had to change the date. So now we do have the American Legion participating with us, and we'll make sure that they have everything they need, and they will cook lunch for everybody. So that was kind of cool. Everybody's just really jumping on board and getting involved with this. It's exciting to see. We're going to actually have drone video before, during, after. I think the county staff will be taking care of that as well. So good things going on there. I was at the Finney County Economic Development Board meeting, which of course I attend regularly, and don't really need to tell you too much about those. Lana keeps us well updated, but that's all that I have.
All right, very good. Commissioner Basque.
I do not have anything new to report.
Commissioner Utes.
Yes, sir. Last Wednesday, I attended the annual board meeting for the Great Plains Development, Inc. in Dodge City. It was election time, so both Dwayne Drees and I were two of the folks elected to serve for the next 3 years. A presentation on GTPI and funding sources was given, and this is a great avenue for businesses currently or those looking at coming to Southwest Kansas to look at for grants or funding sources. Last Friday, I had the privilege in participating in the Military Academy Selection Committee in Abilene, Kansas, at the invite of Congressman Mann and Representative Finney County. Usually it's held at the Eisenhower Library. However, with the government shutdown, we had to go to the local bank to do this. The panel consisted of Congressman Mann as well as Mary Eisenhower, granddaughter of President Eisenhower, a fabulous lady, well educated on her grandfather's service, both in the military as well as being the president. And as well as State Senator retired Colonel Craig Bowser was there as well and gave a remarkable inspirational speech. We had 8 high school seniors or recent graduates participated, only one from Southwest Kansas, the other from Central, remaining in Central and Eastern Kansas. And I would encourage those that have an interest in serving to look at applying in the future with either Senator Moran or Congressman Mann for attending the military academy.
Do you do all 3 academies?
There's 4.
Or, yeah, that's right.
There is 4, the Merchant Marines, military, the Air Force, and the Naval Academies. Yeah, so the students, when they apply, they make their selection which academy they'd like to go to, and we're allowed to give up to 15 recommendations.
Who makes the finals?
We do, and then we submit it to the academy, and then the academy makes the final selection.
Make the final call.
But the weight of the congressman or senator goes a long ways. So.
Will they take so many per state, or they don't do that, do they?
It's not so many per state, it's so many provided. For example, each senator or congressman are allowed so many nominees, and then they go from there. But they have to have their grade point average as well as their ACT scores go into play.
Are the numbers up that are applying, or where do
Yes.
you?
Yes, they're climbing.
Good.
I think with some changes in the military, the recruitment in the military is climbing very good.
Interesting.
My report is centered on praising this commission and the people of the half-cent sales tax committee, volunteers that provided information about the election that will culminate tomorrow. Those include Matt Allen as city manager, Chief Courtney Pruitt of the police department, and Sheriff from Finney County, as well as these commissioners and administrator. 51 presentations were made within the community. I made 21 of them, and kudos to Commissioner Oots and Commissioner Basque, who did a majority of the others in cooperation with Sheriff Steve Martinez. As his name slipped me before, so that was my gray-haired moment. I do report with a bit of consolation to the family that former State Senate President Steve Morris died on Saturday. I don't have any funeral arrangements news to announce to the viewing public, but Steve Morris served us and the region with distinction, becoming the Senate President and providing the impetus for legislation which created the Southwest Kansas Royalty Fund, which deferred the increase in ad valorem taxation as the Hugoton gas field played out. And as many communities saw, without this fund, ad valorem tax increases would have been very crippling to our neighboring counties here in Southwest Kansas. And once again, to his spouse and family, we wish our condolences to Senator Steve Morris. I don't have anything else. I will be attending the meeting with KDOT on November 6th. That's this week. And there's a lot of issues there that we need to work out with KDOT. And we'll need to, as that meeting progresses and as highway issues continue to be a focus as we expand our footprint economically here in Southwest Kansas, we look forward to the opportunity to perhaps revise our NDS agreement so that we can expand the area where we have the urban growth zone as defined by that agreement to conform with the projected plans for highway development here in Southwest Kansas, and namely in Garden City. I will note also with interest that the expansion of US 83 from Garden to Scott City is now in the planning phase, and that was announced last week or the week before. And also, finally, that the governor was in town last Wednesday to give an outline and summary of her proposed state budget. She gave presentations in 9 or 10 locations across the state, and I'm certain that our administrator was there and can better give a report on that, and I will look forward to that report from him. But the KDOT meeting this Thursday is really important for all of us, and myself, and of course Economic Development there, and its president, Lana Duvall. And we will now hear from the administrator. If you would, tell us about the governor had to say about budget.
It was just going through her budget process. It really wasn't really too much to report on.
Right, I understand that there were some other elected officials there, including Senator Clifford and Representative Minix and Finney.
Correct.
All right, very good. Finally, with regard to the issues of the riverbed, Representative Lewis will be presenting a bill to the legislature for those obstinate persons who believe they have a right to encamp in the riverbed without a need for assistance. That bill is taking shape, and we were scheduled to have a meeting last week, which did not occur. Madam Counselor, did that occur on Friday while I was gone, or how did that meeting go if it was held?
It did occur on Friday of last week, and I believe it went really well, and I think we made some really good headway on that.
So are we in a shape to have a final bill to present to the legislature?
I think we're in the shape that he's going to go back, and I think we will once he's gone back and gone through some things with the revisor's office.
That's wonderful. Thank you for the update on that. Does anybody have anything else? We are going to recess into a work session here, but does anybody have anything else for the regular session?
Mr. Chair, just on the half-cent sales tax, kudos to Dr. Josh Guyman, Superintendent of USD 457, as well as Dr. Ryan Ruda at the college for opening up their doors to allow us to present. They allowed us in and out of their different buildings to give presentations, and greatly appreciate that.
Well, wonderful. Thank you for the update. Commissioners, if we don't have anything else, then a motion to adjourn, Senior.
So move.
Second. Oh.
A second by the Vice Chair. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.